All right, so we're just going to take a look at exponential decay. We looked at exponential growth in a previous video. It's the same formula, so I'm just going to remind you what those things are. Y is your amount. Y is the amount after a certain time.
This is a listening check. Tolerate amount after a certain time has passed.
All right, a lot of times it's your population. A is your initial, okay, which is also what your y-intercept. Also, in terms of population, it's your initial population. B is your rate of growth or decay. And in this instance, we're focusing on decay, so we already did growth. And then X is the time period passed.
This is a listening check. Underline decay in the title.
And all you do is you write down the formula with boxes where the letters are and you fill in the numbers. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example. Okay, so here is an example. So the very first thing that you do is you write down the formula with boxes where the letters are. So box equals box, parentheses, box, close parentheses, box. Okay, and we're just going to read through the question. You fill in the numbers and you circle them from the word problem. When you get for B, remember if it's a percent, you follow the steps. If it's a number, you just use the number. If it's decay, it's going to be a fraction. If it's growth, it's a number that's greater than 1. Okay, so the population of a town is decreasing, and this is how you know that it's decay. So if it's decreasing, you know that the number, the growth right here, has to be a number that is less than 1. It has to be a fraction. If it's increasing, it's a number bigger than 1. So it's decreasing at a rate of 1%. So here's my rate of change. And so remember, when you have a rate of change, you can either have it as a percent or a number. If it's a percent, you have to follow these steps. So you take the 1%, you divide it by 100. So you take your 1% divided by 100. And then now, instead of doing 1 plus that number, you do 1 minus that number. And the order matters. You have to start with 1 and then minus and then that number there, which was 0.01. So my rate of change, all right, is 0.99. So my rate of change, which is my B, is 0.99. Okay. In 2000, there were 1,300 people. What was the population in 2008? So 2000, these are the number of people are. What do you think that is? Is that my amount after my time has passed? Is that what I'm starting off with? Or is that the time? It's what I'm starting off with, because it starts off with 2000 and 2008. They are a different number of people. All right, so my initial, which is A right there, is going to be 1,300. What was the population in 2008? So it went from 2000 to 2008. How many years are those? 8. So that's my time, and that goes right here. And the question is, what was the population? So I'm looking for what is the total after that time. And as usual, like you did before, you're just going to punch in the numbers as you see them. 1,300, parentheses, 0.99, close parentheses, raised to the power of 8. Press enter. So my population in 2008 is going to be 1,199. All right, now this is the number of people. You can't have 0.5 of a person. So my population is roughly, okay, now this is an estimation, is roughly close to, that 5 is going to do what to this? Make this go up by 1. So it's going to be roughly 1,200 people. Okay, so you have to kind of think through the question and see what makes sense as an answer. All right, let's take a look at another example. The fish population in a local stream is decreasing. So decreasing is going to be decay at a rate of 3%. So again, I have a percent, and anytime I have a rate, a B of a percent, I divide by 100 and I do 1 minus that number because it's decreasing. If it was increasing, I would do 1 plus for growth. So first I divide the number by 100. So 3 divided by 100. Then I go 1 minus that exact number, 0.03, which is that. That is my B. So my first thing is obviously, as before, copy down the formula with boxes where the letters are.
This is a listening check. Color in that first box.
All right, my B, which is inside my parentheses, right there, is 0.97. Okay, the original populations, what I started off with, which is my A, my initial population is right there, is going to be 4,800. What is the population after 7 years? And obviously that's my time period. So what's my population in 7 years? So boom. So Y is approximately, and those little squiggly lines, that's what they mean. Punch in the calculator, 4800. Open a parentheses, 0.97, close a parentheses, raised to the power of 7. Roughly this many people. What's the 3 going to do? Nothing, so 3,870.